All right, this is going to be AP Calculus Solutions to Worksheet 5-9. I'm talking about specifically problem D, because there were some questions about it. So how do I do this problem? I like to think about this graphically first, and then I like to think about it in terms of the rule. So graphically, you have your y-axis, you have your x-axis, and let's go ahead and kind of sketch what this function looks like. So I'm talking about f of x here, so all of this is going to be f of x for the y-axis. And between 1 and 2, we know that this function has a value of -4, which means it's below the x-axis. So we'll say that 1 is there, we'll say 2 is there. So make something that looks like this, okay. So it goes below the x-axis. And then between 1 and 5, we know that, so between 1 and, we'll say 5 is out there, we know that this area plus this area has to add up to 6. So this could look something like this. Oh, let's try that again. So that means that this is -4. We know that both of these, this thing and this thing, they add to 6. And then the question for D is, what is 2 to 5? Well, if both of these add to 6, then this thing must be 10, because 10 plus a -4 gives you 6. That's great and all. So how do you do this if you didn't have a graph or anything, if you wanted to do this faster? So I believe we had some rule, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but something along the lines of if you have an interval from a to c of some function f of x dx, and you added that to some function from c to b of the same function f of x dx, that would turn into, I should just use equals here, it equals the integral from a to b of f of x dx. So how do I use this rule to solve this problem? So to use this rule, you're basically saying that from 2 to 5 would be kind of like one of these. So replacing these a little bit. So using this rule, we have the integral from, it's going to be 1 to 2 and then 2 to 5. So 1 to 2 of the function f of x, I'm not going to write the dx's just to go faster, plus 2 to 5 f of x is going to equal 1 to 5 f of x. And we know what each of these is. We know that 1 to 2, it tells us here that 1 to 2 is -4, so we can say that's -4. 2 to 5, we don't know. We'll say plus x because we don't know it. That's going to equal 1 to 5. 1 to 5 we do know, it's 6. And how do we solve for x? You add 4 to both sides, plus 4 and x equals 10. You get the same answer of 10.